How to build a good relationship with your partner. I'm going to tell you 6 specific steps on what to do. And I can tell you, when you do, it's awesome. When we can live life on our terms, on a holistic level, taking into account not just our business lives, but also our health, all of our relationships, from friends, family, to our partners, the world changes. All right, so here are 6 very specific steps on what you can do to actually start to create a better relationship with your partner. So the first thing is going to start with mindset. And when I say mindset, I'm going to encourage you to think about the whole person. So often we look at attributes or pieces or components. But instead, when you can take a step back, if you really want to have an amazing relationship, look at that person as a whole and start to think about them in the 4 different quadrants that I like to think of. But one is going to be the resources. How is that person feeling about their time management, their talent, their treasure? How is that person feeling about their relationships? Not just with you, but maybe with friends and family. How are they feeling about their health, their physical, their mental, and their spiritual? And lastly, how do they feel about their professional life, their environment, their comp, their job satisfaction? It's amazing how each one of these things can have a massive impact, even if it's not you directly doing it. But when you can look at the whole person, this is going to be one of those things that can really help you with a better relationship. All right, so once you do that, I'm going to encourage you to use a tool, something that actually facilitates the conversation. So the first is around mindset, the whole person. The second is use a tool. And you're welcome to go to our website. It's free. You can go to lifeon-yourterms.com. We have a whole course there that's not free, but you're welcome to go there, check it out. And about halfway down, we have a free tool called the Balance Wheel. Now, it puts in your email, it takes about 6-8 minutes, goes through, asks you some questions, and it'll give you immediate results. Now, these results are where you think you are today. This specifically has been designed to provide your perspective of how you're looking at things. And this is where in a relationship, once you have this tool and you have this awareness, well, first we have a mindset that we're looking at the whole person. This empowers that. Second, we've used a tool to see where we stand. Now, the third point is to be curious. And this is critical. So often, particularly as dudes, this is kind of sexist, but it's fairly accurate. We don't want to discuss about a problem. We don't even want to think about the problem. We just want to solve the problem. Please don't do that. Please, if you see somebody who has a different perspective on something, be curious. So if you think your spouse is the most beautiful human on the planet, but they don't feel very good about themselves, don't diminish that. Don't change it. Don't dismiss it. Say, okay, be curious. Help me understand. And this is where if you have that mindset, your approach is going to be very, very different than if you're trying to solve it. So when you lean in to being curious, I'm going to encourage you to listen to hear, not listen to respond. So you have that mindset of being curious. Help me understand. And remember, the good Lord gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. If you can listen twice as much, you're going to hear a lot more. Don't immediately respond. If you immediately respond, it's almost as if you're dismissing what that person says. But if you really try and understand what they're saying, look between the lines, you're going to become much, much more compassionate and curious about what that is. And it doesn't mean you have to agree, but when you're curious and you can keep asking these questions and keep pushing and digging, well, then you can start to say, okay, well, what is it that we can do to make it better? And this is the 5th point. This is where the more you can become their champion, if you can become their champion, say, well, I really don't feel like I'm that physically fit. Okay, well, I think you're fantastic. Yeah, well, I used to be able to run a marathon. Okay, all right. Well, do you want to run a marathon again? Yeah, I don't know if I could. Well, I believe you could. Well, it's like, okay, how can I help you do that? Well, I got the kids. Like, all right, well, I tell you what. How about I watch the kids and you do your training regimen? You sign up what you need for training and I'll make sure that I'm watching the kids when you're out training. So that can be your time. When you take that approach, you're becoming that person's champion. What's also happening is that you're modeling the behaviors you're looking to receive in return. So when you do this, well, this is going to allow you to really start understanding how you can be their champion. Now, the last thing is that you need to make sure your follow-up and are ultra consistent. So if you say, yeah, I'll watch the kids, and then you blow that off, that isn't going to work. You're going to have to be ultra consistent and say, hey, You're a flower. Love you. I got the kids today. How far's your run? How can you support them in a compassionate and loving way? And when people slip and fall, don't beat them up. Hey, got it. You got this. Let's get back on track. Help keeping that compassion going. But long story short, if you really want to know how to build a good relationship with your partner, the first thing is look at them as a whole person, understanding that there may be different aspects of their life that are impacted outside of your relationship, but don't take it personal. Second, find some sort of tool that can help you to become better at it, that can help create that awareness. Once you have that awareness, be really curious. Have that mindset to try and understand. Listen to hear. Once you understand where they're going, then help them solve it. And how can you then become their champion? And when you become that champion, be ruthless and consistent. Ultra positive, but make sure that you are leading by example. And I promise that when you do these behaviors and you model this behavior and you lead by these examples, it's not only going to show that you're doing a good relationship with your partner, but what you get back will come back tenfold. So, ideally, found some value in that? Please feel free to check out our books, website, or just subscribe, check out some of the other videos on here. Keep smiling.